Joining me is a man who has covered the violent far-left protests that have hit so many American cities, particularly over the last year, Black Lives Matter, and he's been bashed for it. He's just got a new book out in the New York Times bestseller already for 2 straight weeks already, called Unmasked, Inside Antifa's Radical Plan to Destroy Democracy, a book which tells us exactly what kind of activists are creating this mayhem, and the mugshots don't actually flatter them. The author is Andy Ngo, who joins us again, this time from London. Andy, it's always great to catch up with you, and congratulations on the success of your book. You deserve it. You've done so much on the ground reporting for this. Are you surprised now that at least one of the people invading the Capitol was not a right-winger, who, you know, invading the building, smashing things, confronting police, telling the crowd to burn it? Not a right-winger, but an activist from the left.
I'm not surprised. I actually recognized John Earl Sullivan pretty early on because he was posting his videos from when he was inside the Capitol Hill. And I recognized him because last year he had been arrested and charged in Utah, where he's from, over a BLM Antifa riot there where a driver was shot. And the local authorities accuse him of threatening to beat a woman. So he has pending charges over that. So regarding the payment that ABC Australia paid to him, as bad as that was, CNN and NBC News each paid him $35,000 US for the video of the woman protester getting shot dead. But so they can claim that they didn't know who he was until after he was federally charged recently. But this is what was known on the record about John Sullivan way ahead of the events of the 6th of January. So last year, in addition to his alleged involvement in what happened in Utah, he frequently went to DC. In one video where he was speaking in BLM Plaza on a microphone, he can be heard actually inciting violence, saying things like, "We are going to burn this S down," which is something that he's alleged to have said again on the 6th of January. He's saying that they're not going to wait for the November election, that they're going to pull the MF, referring to Trump, out of office. So he has a history of speaking on record in public, inciting violence. And this is somebody who was paid by your public broadcasting.
And the excuse you give to CNN, and you're right to say they may not have known, the ABC, though, paid him after he was charged. They should have known if they'd done the basic checks. Now, what I want to know is, you've got our ABC, your CNN, and most of the media outlets shocked and horrified by this political violence at the Capitol, which was shocking. Were they equally shocked by the political violence of the left that you saw last year and have documented in cities like Seattle and Portland?
Yeah, so the chattering liberal elites who have been the loudest in condemning what happened on the 6th of January, which should be condemned unequivocally. These are the same people who were at best silent last year and at worst were actually encouraging of what I view as insurrectionary behavior from far-left extremists in other cities, like in Portland, where BLM Antifa for months on end, every night, were trying to burn down federal property, police stations.
No, I didn't hear anything from them back then. In fact, I heard people excusing them, saying the protest was mostly peaceful and who cares about violence anyway when important issues at stake. Andy Ngo, thank you so much indeed for your time.
My pleasure.